Hi guys, good afternoon, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing what I thought of the new Netflix show. It dropped last night and I finished it earlier this morning. It's a new show, a new post-apocalyptic thriller from the country of Denmark. The Rain. It's only 8 episodes long. It's a pretty easy watch, and it's also very entertaining. I'm about to do a quick recap of the first season, so if you are currently watching The Rain but you haven't finished, or if you're a few episodes behind, please be warned that I may or may not be referring to spoilers throughout this review, so again, you have been warned. That being said, this was a pretty good show. I liked it. You know what? I thought it had a really interesting premise, and that's the thing that caught my attention in the first place, is that it's set in the post-apocalypse, and the thing that ended the world was rain. And at first, they didn't really explain how or why, but then, of course, when we saw another trailer like a few months ago, it was explained, oh, there's a virus that's in the rain. There's something in the rain that kills people. It makes them sick and they die. That's why it's so lethal. So I like the idea that, once again, somebody has taken something simple, like rainfall, and made it into something scary. And in this case, the thing that's scary is that it's a carrier for this uncurable virus. That it's this thing that has ravaged most of the world, and the survivors survive by staying dry, and like basically they have to take shelter every night, because it was implied, or it was confirmed in every single episode, that every night it rains. Every single night it rains, so you had better take shelter somewhere, if not, you're dead. So I really liked the premise of it. I really liked the main core of characters. The brother and sister, Simone and Rusmas, I hope I'm saying those names right, they were pretty cool. I thought that was a hell of a time jump they did in that first episode. I mean, they went from the first day of the apocalypse to 6 years later like that. You know, that was pretty nuts. I really liked the pot-smoking, kind of a tough guy, but also emotionally vulnerable Patrick. You know, at first he was kind of a dick, but as the show went along, he became more and more likable, which I was hoping he would be. I also liked the leader, Martin, but with their accents, I think they were saying Martin. He was pretty cool. Again, he started out as kind of a dick, but he became much more likable throughout the show. And I loved the guy with the glasses, Jean. He was pretty awesome. I was a little bummed when he was taken captive and or killed. But then confirmed in the final episode, oh, surprise, there he is. He's been alive the whole time. And that was another thing that initially confused me at first, but in the final 2 episodes, it became clear. Oh, these guys they keep referring to as the strangers are soldiers from the government, or at least from Apollon, the company that Simone's father works for. They're trying to cure this thing, which involves experimenting on people, and that ends up killing a lot of innocent people, unfortunately. Rusmas was supposed to be humanity's savior. He was supposed to cure everybody, but unfortunately he's a contagious carrier, as we saw in the season finale. So that was too bad. But great premise for a really interesting post-apocalyptic thriller show. In fact, I really enjoyed it. And I'm curious if there will be a second season or not. And I think I liked how they set up the second season, implying that they leave the Apollon HQ after they decide that they don't like their dad anymore, because he kind of abandoned them, even though he was really trying to save them by abandoning them. It was kind of a twisted situation. But of course, then he tells his daughter, oh, by the way, we've got to kill your brother because he's a contagious carrier. Everybody close to him will eventually die. So she's like, no, screw that noise. We're not leaving the quarantine zone like they wanted to. Like, they spend the whole season trying to get to this wall that is supposedly separating the quarantine zone of Denmark from the rest of the country, or at least from another country, a nearby country, Sweden, I think they said it was. So, for all we know, only Denmark has been affected by this deadly rain, and the rest of Europe and the rest of the world is A-okay, but we don't really know that. They seem to imply that it's just Denmark, but again, it's hard to tell. And now with that final scene where it looks like all those boardroom members were in some kind of aquarium office, and they were talking about weaponizing this thing and selling it to other countries. So that does seem to indicate that it is indeed just Denmark that's been affected. And Denmark has been like a gigantic human guinea pig, which is really fucked up if you think about it. But this was a really entertaining show. I really enjoyed our main core of characters. I loved how we got to see snippets of their backstory in every single episode. First, it was Beatrice, then it was Martin as a soldier, then Patrick with his dad, and then getting stoned in the car while everybody outside the car died. He gets out, he's coming out of it, and he's like, whoa, like everybody on the beach is dead. And then Gene, of course, when he encounters the family, and then he accidentally kills a little girl. That was dark. Whew. That was like Walking Dead level dark right there. Accidentally killing a little girl while trying to keep her quiet. That was dark. That was Walking Dead level dark. But I think my favorite episode, even though it's kind of twisted and really gross, was the episode where they encountered the cult who chooses a human sacrifice for their cannibalistic practices. And even though that was kind of hard to watch, it was a really entertaining, exciting episode, I thought. And I thought it was like the perfect episode for a post-apocalyptic world. You've got this weird, seemingly peaceful, friendly cult group of people all wearing the same light blue robe or whatever. And then it turns out all they're cannibals. Ugh. But it was still a great episode. And this was a good first season. It was pretty enjoyable. And I hope they do a second one. I would be intrigued if they did a second season. I mean, they certainly left the door open. I liked how they teased the storyline of the soldiers are now going to be hunting these guys down because they need the boy Rasmus back for further scientific research, which unfortunately means killing him if they really want to find a vaccine within him. And his sister's not going to let that happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Overall, I would say watch it. It's a good series so far. I think you'll enjoy it. If you enjoy shows like The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Stranger Things, what was the other one? Mindhunter, big hit kind of dark Netflix shows. And, The Strain, of course, another post-apocalyptic thriller show. I think you would enjoy The Rain. Well, guys, what did you think of The Rain Season 1? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? Please feel free to leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. As usual, you may disagree with one another, of course. We're all entitled to our own opinions, and that's fine. Just please keep it civil and be respectful of one another. The Rain Season 1 is currently streaming on Netflix. Watch it now. I think you're going to like what you see. Have a great rest of the day, everybody, and happy Cinco de Mayo. Have a great weekend, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.